Near AI. What did you ship this week?
Yo, 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 everyone. My name is Peter, and I represent Neoweek here on the Ship Stream. We do this every week to feature all the great stuff and highlight all the great stuff that's being built within AI on or with the Near protocol. And today I'm delighted to have three teams presenting. We have Owen from Proximity talking into Shade Agents. We have Ravi, who's here to present one of his own projects, a prediction market agent on Near. And lastly, we have James Waugh from the House of Stake, which went live this week. So if you haven't already, go in, lock that Near, and allocate some of that VE Near so we can get the governance experimenting going on the Near protocol. First up, we have Owen with us. Owen, my friend, how's it going? Yes, you're muted.
Classic.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having me again. Good to be here. Not been on for a while, but yeah, excited to share some updates.
Great to have you, Owen. So as always, for those who haven't seen or met you before, please do like a small intro, who you are, what you work with on a daily basis, and then get into the updates. And let me know when you want to add your screen, if you want to share screen or anything, just go ahead. All right, stage is yours.
For sure. Thank you for the introduction. So yeah, I am Owen, as you can see down here, hopefully. And as you can see here also, I work at Proximity doing DevRel, DevX, sort of everything as well on the dev side of things. And at Proximity, we're focused mainly on creating this tech stack Shade Agents and helping teams ship Shade Agents. So a brief introduction, if you haven't heard of what Shade Agents are, or a reminder, they're basically decentralized agents that can act like in the back end and power some really awesome systems. So you can have autonomous trading agents that are actually like decentralized and can act on multiple users' behalf. You can have decentralized verifiable governance systems and a load of different other use cases that you can also check out in the docs, which I'll be sharing shortly. And what I wanted to share here, and this is where I'll start sharing my screen. We'll just have those awkward 5 seconds of me figuring out how to do it. Here, yeah, if you could bring that up, Peter, that'd be awesome. Awesome. So yeah, what I wanted to show here is the docs. If you go to docs.near.org, this is where all the documentation for the Near ecosystem lives. And there's specifically like a Shade Agents section in here. And we've had some updates recently, which I actually wanted to save for this stream to show first. So if you head over to the sidebar and come to AI and agents, you'll see in this tab, there is a tab dedicated for Shade Agents. We've done a bit of reorganizing here to make things nicer. We had some previous sections here where you can check out like what are Shade Agents, how to start building them really quickly. You can build an agent in about 10 minutes and get started. And then there's like the framework overview and what you can build. And these are where the new sections have come in. So we had some feedback recently about people wanting to get a bigger picture of what is happening with Shade Agents, but also know about the specific details. So we've gone ahead and created this framework overview page where you can get an overview of like what templates, languages, and architectures you can use when building these agents. Basically, the TLDR is that you can build in any language, but some are more preferable, and you can use any architecture. And then there's short sections on each elements of the stack and how they come together to bring this final shade agent framework. And these are just like short introductions that link elsewhere to other pieces of documentation, either within the Near docs itself or externally. So we'll dive in and see a bit more about each of these sections in the reference. So the Shade Agent API you'll see here, this is how you actually interact with the Shade Agent framework and how you interact with your agent contract that is powering Shade Agents and allows you to sign transactions. I forgot to mention that it's not just signing transactions on Near, you can sign transactions on basically any chain with the Shade Agent framework. So yeah, here in the API overview, you can see how you can basically start building shade agents. And we have support for TypeScript and Python specified here, but since it's an API, you can use it in any language via just like HTTP calls. So there's functions here where you can get your agent's account ID, you can get the info for the agent, you can get the agent's balance, which is some really like nice helper functions. And then this is where the beauty comes in through this request signature API call. And this lets you request a signature for a transaction on any chain. So here it's like an Ethereum transaction, and there's two signature schemes you can use. So this could be a transaction that, for example, if it was a yield strategy agent that goes and stakes some USDC on Aave on Ethereum, or maybe it uses some like perp DEX on BNB chain, for example, or on Solana. And then, so there's this request signature, which is like broad signing for any multi-chain transactions. But if you want to build like a more specific agent that does some more cool things, and more specific things, you can use this like agent call function and agent view function. And we've actually been adding some more documentation in the tutorial section. We now have this new section, AI DAO. I don't want to go too much into it here, but you can check it out because I want to save that for the next ship stream. We'll look more at this AI DAO, which is really cool. But basically, an overview is it's an AI DAO that acts autonomously and verifiably, not just at the smart contract level, but throughout the whole stack. So you can have decentralized governance that you can verify is acting how it should be. Other than the new tutorials and the overview, we also have some more docs on like the Shade Agent CLI that lets you launch and spin up an agent quicker. There's some flags that you can specify within the CLI to make sure it's configured how you would like it. And there's also more configuration you can do here with the environment variables, which we'll be adding more later to further configure your agent. And then, yeah, there's some more documentation here. There's a lot and there's more coming. So always keep looking at the docs to see how you can improve your agent further and build specific use cases. Unlike Shade Agents, what we're working on at the moment is we're also releasing a new version of this Shade Agent API, which will allow you to have a lot more configuration that wasn't previous possible. So that's like adding key rotation. So within your agent, you can have multiple signing keys, so you don't run into nonce collision problems, which means your agent can sign like 100 transactions at the same time without having any problems, which is really cool. And then we had some feedback around the auto funding process with Shade Agents. So we now have some functionality where you can decide to turn off the basic implementation and implement your own flow. So we're really trying to balance like flexibility with ease of use here. So that's everything in the docs. There is one more thing I wanted to share here. I think I'll have to reshare my screen. There we go. Oh yeah, if you could bring that up again, Peter. Wow, he's so quick. So yeah, this is on Nern. I'm sure you've heard about this before. They've been on all the live streams, a really cool platform for like bounties and getting sponsorship for creating open source stuff within the Near ecosystem, mainly open source stuff. There's some other stuff on there. But here we actually have this TE secured price oracle as one of the bounties hosted by the Near Infrastructure Committee. You can go further into the RFP details here inside the link. But TLDR is that there's an RFP, which is request for proposals for you or for some dev people to implement a oracle that is secured by trusted execution environments or well, sort of the same thing, or secured by Shade Agents. So instead of this classic model where your oracle is secured by like crypto economic security, so each node has some crypto assets that will be slashed if they push the wrong price. This is secured by like hardware security, where each node that is pushing prices is within a TE, so it can't physically push the wrong price. There's still some concerns over like people manipulating TEs. So within this oracle, it will actually be a consensus of multiple TE nodes. So yeah, you have the security of consensus, and you also have the security of the TE. So if you're interested in building this price oracle, you're interested in TEs, you have experience here, and you're interested in Shade Agents, I would definitely go check this RFP out. Just head over to Nern and you'll find it in your browser. Okay, that's everything I have here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Owen. One question. So if I
Sure.
need support, where do I find you? Where do I hunt you down?
So, I mean, if you're in the Near ecosystem, hopefully you'll see my my Dragon PFP already. You'll feel free to message me. The best place is to head over to the Shade Agent group chat, or the Chain Signatures group chat, or even the Near Dev group chat, and you'll probably find me there. You can find all these links within the docs. Like if you just go to Shade Agents, you'll find some links to the group chat, but I think I can probably share it here as well.
So that would be on Telegram.
Yeah, Telegram is the place to ask your questions. Oh, we also have like office hours every Wednesday, so feel free to use and abuse them.
And office hours is on Telegram as well?
This on like Google Meet, so it's 1-to-1 office hours.
Awesome. And do we have anything in the pipeline, Shade Agents wise, like hackathons or stuff like this coming?
So no hackathons in the pipeline right now. I mean, you're always welcome to build Shade Agents. We're excited to see what you're building. We have a few teams building with this stack, so most of it is not launched yet, but really excited to see these products launched and this new evolution of agentic DeFi that hopefully will be first to come on Near, or powered by Near on other chains at least.
Awesome. So guys, if you're building something Shade Agent related, hit up Owen and then tell him to hit ping me so we can get you featured on the show. This is what it's all about. All right. Thank you so much for coming, Owen. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Next up, we have Ravi, who is building an AI first near intent based prediction market. And I'm just going to bring Ravi to the stage. Hello, sir.
Hello, Peter. I hope I'm audible well.
Yeah, you're going through very well. So we always kick off each presentation with a small intro, Ravi. So who you are, what you usually work with, and then we head into specifically what you want to present. So whenever you're ready, it's all yours.
Fantastic. Thank you for having this opportunity. Hi, everyone. This is Ravi Agrawal. At the moment, I'm working with the Billions Network. Uh, this is the first time that I've been exploring Near and Near ecosystem, and super excited to see what we have found out with Near Intent, chain signatures, fantastic tech, and we thought to experiment with it, go beyond just our understanding. So we started, first of all, let me just share my screen and maybe I would give a glimpse in terms of how did we participated in terms of learning, first of all, what Near Intent all about, and then from there on move in terms of leveraging it for creating something very interesting in the form of a prediction market, very deep in terms of using all the components from Near ecosystem, right from Near Intent to chain signature to anchoring those on Near blockchain and so on. So with that kind of an introduction, Ashwin and myself, we first of all did a research in terms of what is Near Intent going to be bringing on the table. This is first time where we moved outside of EVM ecosystem, had been there for within the blockchain space for close to 10 years, but primarily focusing only on the EVM ecosystem, and first time looked at Near Intents, and it was like amazing in terms of finding out what can be done with Near Intent. So when we started small, we thought of this may be useful for swamp and breaches, but then soon explored that it can do many wonderful things. If provided with the real world solvers, we can have use cases that can enable payments, buying, subscriptions, and I can have more real world use cases using Near Intent, which can solve a lot of interesting problem statements. And that's where then we were thinking of how is going to be shifting the show it to me economy to do it to me economy with Near Intent, and that was our research article. I pinged in the link for this article in case if you are interested. But from there on, we moved in terms of going beyond and creating a prediction market. We have renamed, previously it was called as Near Market, when we participated in one of the Near hackathon last month, and we glad to share that we won the first prize there. But then this prediction market is where we are bringing in human and AI together as the user base and letting the agents also do the betting on the prediction market. Collectively, we have been trying to solve the problem around fragmentations for liquidity and UX, bringing in not limiting to the humans as the users, but also bringing in agents there. Market discoverability, which has been a challenge for all existing prediction market, we are trying to create something as a recommendation engine, and then bringing in uplifting the user engagement with a lot of gamifications and hook that can create stickiness, right? So this is just a very simple pitch we were trying to create in terms of the differentiators that we are bringing to the table when we are using Near Intent, along with the simplified UX and TikToks and Tinderline experience for the user to participate in the prediction market. So no boring screens where the user discovery is very poor for those market, but giving the left and right sweep in order to discover those market, and getting the preference based predictions market available for easy participations. And this is where we are excited to share some of the screens. I would also invite Ashwin, my partner, to give a little more demo of the code base through and the UX. But then this is where we found that there may be various ways where we can take it to the market, especially taking help of the Near ecosystem at large, bringing in the visibility, and at the same time, creating more specific Web3 related markets that are not necessarily just for more longer term view, but maybe shorter term things which can bring in more interest and could be another user onboarding experience for near ecosystem as well as the applications within the near ecosystem. So some of the go to market strategy, but on the revenue side, we were bullish that this is not just another prediction market, but we wanted to focus in terms of collecting the intelligence that is driven with the help of this prediction market, right? And this is where we feel that over a period of time, we wanted to go into the data DAO segments as well, where a lot of AI engineers would find it more interesting in order to consume the data that is a collective intelligence with human and AI, and that is spread across different verticals, that is spread across different regions. And this could be one of the differentiator that we wanted to present to the prediction market trends that we are all seeing. At the same time, we do not want it to stop just with the basic functionality that we have built, but we wanted to go long, and we wanted to add a lot of different AI capability to call this as an AI native or AI first prediction market. We wanted to add things like AI research agent, analytical engines, maybe blind betting, so that it can even add more fun to the users without seeing 48 yes and 52 no's kind of thing. Bring your own agent is something that we are again very super excited to try and see how we can let the humans bring their own agents for betting and introduce them more autonomousity in order to go and participate in the bets. And at the latest, we wanted to also explore how near gifts could be a way to reward for the user engagement and bring in more participation. So that's mainly on the learning side, and then we created this pitch. But at the same time, this is our deep dive article in terms of how did we created it across different flows, user data types, and the execution that we have created. I would rather take this opportunity to also invite my partner Ashwin and take you through the flows, but would appreciate your love and any comments if you got a chance to read through the article and explore our application. Thank you.
Hey guys, so I think Ravi has given like a good idea of how things work from a product side. So I'll be sort of explaining you from the tech side, what we have built and how can we improve it, or like what is our like roadmap after winning that hackathon, right? So this is Ashwin, and currently I'm working as a developer at Kernel Labs. So this is my first time actually exploring the near ecosystem from like a dev point of view, because I mean I've explored like different L1s and L2s, but I've never explored near. So this was my first time. I heard about near intense. I really want to explore it, like how it works and stuff. And that's how we actually me and Ravi, we were discussing about this problem of market discovery, cross-chain liquidity, and we thought near intent is like the perfect match for that. Let's build a prediction marketplace. This hackathon could be our chance to learn and actually build out a product. So I mean, let me share my screen and walk you guys through the prediction marketplace and some of its code. So just a second, let me share my screen. Do let me know if the screen is visible to you.
Yes, we see you.
Cool. So the first thing is like we are doing a very mobile first approach, because we think these are opinionated markets, right? So this would be something you would be, maybe let's say you are on your phone and you want to you have some opinion about some market. So this should not be too hard for you. Like you should not be opening up your laptop and just trying to bet on something you believe in, right? It should be very simple and easy. So we are following a mobile first approach. So this is more like Tinder approach, where you can swipe left or right and just explore the markets. Second thing which we are doing in terms of innovation is we believe that let's say I'm from India. Okay, I'm from India, and so I mean a lot of my friends started using other prediction marketplace, let's say Polymarket, when because of the US presidential election, everyone was just betting on Polymarket because of that, right? But if I open Poly Market or any prediction marketplace now, I see a lot of markets which are not relevant to me. Like, okay, I understand a bit of US presidential election, but I don't understand, let's say, if there is a mayor election going on in New York, I don't understand that, right? So that market is, I'm least interested in that market. And so my chance of interacting with that market is less to no, right? Nothing, right? So what we are trying to do with this very streamlined form of market discovery is that we could build a recommendation engine behind it to serve the markets in a way which would interest me. So something which interests me based on my geographical location, based on some of my points, which make sure that the markets are personalized for me, and the chance of me interacting with the market would be higher, right? So that's the second thing we are doing. And third thing which I really want to point out we are doing is our market is AI native. So because of the intense standardized architecture, even AI agents can come and trade on us. How can that help you? Let's say in Binance, you have something called, like, let's say, copy trading and all. We could implement a lot of these features directly into our marketplace. So in terms of the code, what we have built through, I don't want to walk you through the code because that's pretty much boring. But we really want to make sure, we open source these code, like order book code, CTF contracts, solvers, verifiers, to the larger community, so that everybody could build something out of it. It doesn't really have to be a prediction marketplace, but something out of it. So our larger vision is to open source these code bases as individual components, so that the larger community can use it and actually build something out of it. Now I think it's time that I could give you a demo of how this works, right? I know I can't actually, just go and trade on the market, any market. Let's just pick this market. It's not like I can just go and trade on this market and basically showcase you how it works, because it's a off-chain order book based market. So it can't be like, there needs to be multiple traders for the trades to match and all those stuff, right? So just a second, let me open this market. Okay, let me open this market up. So this is how a market would look like when you open it up for trading, right? Again, we want to make sure it's a mobile first approach. So less information, more interactivity. That's a goal. Like, I don't want to fill you with a lot of information and you get confused. I don't want to, this is a market where I want your opinion, right? These are some of the datas which will lead to some trend, right? So I don't want to sort of, give you a lot of data, like, these advanced charts and all. This doesn't make sense when, let's say, when you have the information about a particular market and you want to interact with it, right? So this is like a sample market, how it would look like. And just for the sake of testing, I have a script where there are like 3 traders who go and trade on this market. So you can see this script will basically run, and there are 3 traders who go and run, and you can see the order book is working. There will be matches and all, and you can see the trades will show up here. And basically, this is how basically the market will work. You can see the order books, the orders are coming up, and there are like 3 traders who are trading on this market. So this is exactly how it works. So you can see a script is working to trade on this market. Likewise, agent can also do the same. So that is our whole I would say USP. That's the USP we believe, because in the future there are a lot of chances, since everybody is building this agent kits and all, there are chances there would be a lot of agents out there, you are acting on behalf of a user. So this market would also serve a new kind of users, right? And the larger vision for this market would be making this as a data intelligence platform which will be used for analysts around the world for trend analysis. That's what we believe from in this market. This market would be predicting events which would happen in the future. So that's a larger vision. And in terms of near intent, when we were building on it, we thought that near intent could be used for larger purpose, um, like these intent architecture can be used as a distribution channel where solvers can be, let's say, even real world solvers. Like, let's say you want to let's say you want to buy like a 5 kg of whey protein. So you can just be like, I want to buy 5 kg of whey protein, and some real world solver can actually solve it. So I feel near intent can be expanded to a larger use case, and anything built on top of it can leverage that, including our market. So yeah, those were a few of the stuffs which we started to explore once we build this market. And I feel in the coming days you will see a lot more progress in this market, and we will be soon launching it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for a great presentation, Aswin, and also you, Ravi. I have a few questions, or maybe just one, Aswin. How was coming from EVM and then discovering Near? How has your experience been building with the framework?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I would love to answer that. So I've been in the space for the last 5 years, and I've always been an EVM guy, like always. And in terms of EVM, first thing is I would say that's easy for someone who is very new to Web3. They can just start with Solidity. That's very easy. But when they start developing more advanced stuffs, and then when they feel they want to build something which is very close to Web 2, they need more like a more expressive language. And there I would say a language like Rust, which Near uses, would really be useful, because it's much more expressive language, and the chances of someone making a mistake on Rust is like very low. So I mean, from that point of view, when you're building for scale, I mean, Rust is the language to go. Like, Solidity is expressive, easy to onboard, but Rust has a bit of learning curve, but it's hard to make any mistake here. The chances of getting hacked when you're building something using Rust is minimum. So yeah.
Nice. I can see Ravi also wanted to chime in. Ravi, please go ahead. You're muted. Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, I think just adding a little more color. I think been into the EVM space for last 10 years, and this is the first venture at the Near side. I think on the positive side, we were unaware about such a fantastic technology. I think this has been wonderful experience in terms of knowing Near intent and the use cases that we have just scratched the surface with swaps and bridge in the prediction market. But as we were exploring how it can open up a lot of real world use cases, making it simple. Near gift, I think I tried it first with my friend, sending it across very smooth. I started Near now as all part of my transactions to send funds across chains. But I think on the feedback side, this is what we have noticed, that there's a good amount of tooling that has been created, but not the documentation is supporting to that tooling. It took us a while for learning on the concepts and scratching through the documentations in order to find out how this can be done. Though we have been able to learn quite a bit in terms of digging down through the documentation. And I think, in fact, feedback onto the RPC side as well. Looks like we have been running multiple times into the cooling period in terms of running through the RPC when we were trying to execute. Ashwin can add in more, but I think those are like developer experience, I would say, that certainly have a lot of improvement scope.
Nice. I know. Actually, we're working on an MCP server to make documentation much more easily accessible using AI. So hopefully that can smoothen the experience. But I really like to hear this feedback. So what would your advice be to like your biggest takeaways, like, for people to start building on Near?
I think personally, I feel that for the developers looking at it first time, even though it sounds complex and there are difficulties around the dock, but it's a fantastic tech and should be able to leverage, especially making things easy for cross-chain, for more real-world use cases. And I've been exploring other dimensions of the Near, whether it is the private chat feature that is coming up and things like that. So my advice is that don't freak out with the dock labels and the less of, I would say, samples out there, but exploring it a little bit diligently, there are various interesting tech components that can be leveraged and that can enable some new use cases which were previously too complex to build otherwise.
Anything to add to that, Aswin?
I mean, yeah, like even for someone who is starting out with Near, Near's doc, I mean, it's still cooking, I would say. But if you go to Near's GitHub page, there are a lot of repos. There are a lot of unexplored repos, or I would say undocumented repos, which you can find, and that will really, since I mean everybody is using Gen AI, so if you find like a code structure like that, it would really help you learn things faster and build something faster. So just also along with the docs, go through their GitHub repo. There is a lot of undocumented stuffs in there which you can explore.
Absolutely. I think we got benefited from Shai's GitHub repo as well, and that has actually helped us to kickstart and jumpstart rather.
Nice. So I really appreciate you guys coming on and sharing your experience. And to me, being in the ecosystem for the last 5 years, it means a lot to hear that actually we have the great tech. We still have stuff we can improve, but just hearing that you guys are still here, it didn't put you away, right? Means a lot. So help us spread the word about the Near, and super excited to see what you guys are gonna come up with in the future. And if you need any support, feel free to either ping me or Owen or anyone. Always happy to assist and point you in the right direction.
Absolutely. I think you guys have been killing it and have been very supportive responses so far from the other DevRels as well. And during our hackathon, it was also a very pleasant experience interacting with Jaswinder and Prakhar and other DevRels. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. That was awesome. All right. Last up, we got James Waugh, and everyone should know James by now. If you don't, you're going to get to know him in a second. James, welcome on the show again. Please, as always, brief introduction, what you're working with, and then let's get into the shipping.
Thank you so much, Peter. What's up, Near? I'm James. I am one of the delegates in the House of Stake, and I'm building solutions for Near governance participants involving AI agents. And as Peter mentioned earlier, the House of Stake just launched to mainnet this week. So it's an exciting time to get involved. And I'd encourage all of you to be delegates. Anyone can be a delegate, or you can delegate to me or any of the other delegates involved. If you don't want to vote on proposals, that's the main action that you would be doing. The activity is all about reviewing proposals, or if you're on the other side, creating proposals. But I will be demoing a quick tool that we can build on. Let me see here. Let's get that shared. And in conjunction with the launch, Jack Lang from the foundation has released a governance product roadmap, an AI governance product roadmap. And it's broken into 3 overlapping phases. And the first phase is what I'm going to be talking about today. But it's all about support. So we're talking about this proposal dashboard as a way to address 2 problems. One is it takes a lot of time and energy, attention cost to review proposals and even to write good proposals. And so what we're trying to do is make that easier and raise the bar. So we are improving quality of the proposals, analysis of those proposals, and the related discussions. So Another problem is on the forum, which you're looking at here. It's hard to know who is actually responding to the proposals because there's no Near account associated with the discourse username. So that's another problem that we're addressing with this proposal screener. So it's very simple, but we can talk about ways to improve it going forward. We've got a lot of ideas, and we're hoping to gather feedback from the community as we iterate. But I've already loaded up a proposal to demonstrate one that is okay, but not perfect, or not aligned with the minimum criteria. So we're going to see how Near AI handles this. Keep in mind it's private inference, so it's actually not going to OpenAI servers for them to use in whatever ways they want. So it's a simple example of a proposal that needs improvement. It gives you a little bit of detail on why, and we have 6 criteria. It shows which ones passed, which ones didn't, and overall ecosystem alignment. So this gives a little bit more of a context of why this proposal is maybe good or not ready yet. But this can be expanded or enhanced various ways. But let's go through an example of a proposal that should pass given the current setup. I'm just going to copy this here and paste it over here, and then I'm going to get that title. And now we're off to the races. So let's say we've drafted a proposal and we brought it to the screener to make sure it's ready before we publish on the forum. And it's optional. You don't have to do this, but it's helpful. It's a service for people who want to improve their proposals before getting it out there in the public. But yeah, this one says ready for submission, and it passed all 6 criteria checks, and it has a little note on why it's highly aligned with the ecosystem growth strategy. And yeah, so now it has been screened and approved, so we can proceed to the publishing. So what I'm going to do is connect my Near wallet. You can do this at any time up here in the corner, but it'll prompt you to do so if it's not already connected. And now the cool thing is we're going to connect our Discourse account using a plugin system that is enabled by the Every plugin runtime. And I'm going to log into this dummy forum I made for testing. And it's also leveraging Near Signed Verify, a library that leverages NEP 413 signatures. So that's a cool way to link accounts with off-chain usernames as an example. But what I've got to do is copy this key, bring it back here, and now we're going to verify. So I'm going to sign this message on chain to link my Near account to my Discourse username. So there we go. I'm now able to publish as James, my Discourse username, and it's going to go to the proposals category. So now I'm actually clicking publish. It's going to do another message for me to sign and prove that I'm actually posting this, and voila. So we've got this new post on the forum, and it's the same content that was approved by the AI agent. And yeah, it even says here submitted by Jambo. So that's the account I had connected up here. But yeah, that's the quick demo. Happy to answer questions. I'll mention that you can go to gov.houseofstake.org and check it out. This doesn't have AI features yet, but could have some very soon. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Looking forward to collaborating with the Agora team who built this great front end for the House of Stake contracts, which are now deployed. So check out all the delegates listed here. That's me, James.Near. If you want to delegate to me, happy to represent, but also happy to collaborate and build together and learning, all the time about, ways we can better support community in this endeavor. But thanks again for the time, and looking forward to, moving forward.
Likewise, James. As always a pleasure, and I know you like the list of agents and agentic stuff we want to build in relation to House of Stake is long, so I expect to see much more of you and the rest of the House of Stake team on this show. James, lastly, this is a broad question. What excites you the most at the moment, AI-wise, near-related? Or just any near-related thing?
Well, you teed me up perfectly. I was regretting not mentioning the Near AI Cloud underneath what I just shared. It's really amazing, but also super simple to use as a developer. And I would highly recommend checking it out if you're interested in that benefit of private, verifiable inference. You can just set up an API key and get started in only a few minutes. It's pretty amazing. So check that out. It's a very powerful technology to think about privacy in the realm of AI. I don't know if anyone's cracked the code there, but with these new solutions, the sky's the limit. So I want to just highlight Near AI Cloud. But I'd be remiss to not also give a shout out to every plugin. It's a great way to build AI systems because it's a composable type-safe plugin system. So it's a lot more modular and friendly for other developers to integrate your agents. It's a cool idea to have model context protocol plugins, and I'm looking forward to what Nearweek is building. Shout out to your team, Peter, and the MCP server you highlighted earlier. I'm stoked about that too.
Thank you so much for the highlight, James. And to your point about privacy, I agree with you. I know it's something that's really become hot, of course, lately with everything Zcash related and how Near Intense has really broadened the use case for private money. But in general, also seeing that big players like Anthropic acknowledging that privacy in this realm is a big thing. So everyone head out and read more about the Near AI Cloud. I'm 100% down with what James is saying. This is something that needs to be solved for, super important for, maybe I'm putting it too broadly, but like future of humanity, right? Like this is not just basic stuff. It's not just the Web 2, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Data extraction. This is like super powerful technology, and we need to make it right. So thank you so much for coming, James, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be seeing you soon.
Thanks, Peter. Have a good one.
All right, everyone. That's a wrap. 3 great teams presenting what they've been building lately, talking about their experiences. This is really what this show is all about, building AI stuff on Near. So if you are in this ecosystem, building something cool, this stage is yours. You can hit Nearweek up on Twitter or tag us in any of the Near-related Telegram groups and let us know that you have something you want to show to the rest of the ecosystem. We will be glad to have you on this stage. It's what it's all about, highlighting this amazing ecosystem, which is building 24/7, 365 days a year. I'm not sure how Near devs do it without sleep, but somehow they manage. All right. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Delighted to see you next week. Until then, take care. Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Nearweek.